I felt like we needed something special for episode 100, Daniel.
Of all the songs, you picked this.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
we go from Freebird, an amazing song, to feel like I'm getting ready to watch a VTuber.
You know what? Everyone's a critic, man. Everyone's a critic. I can never get these right. You know, if it's not one song, it's another. Adam comes in, he's like, oh, I don't like it. I mean, what do you want me to do, man? Like, the last time I did a really crazy intro was the Trump election. We did that Bohemian Rhapsody thing. You remember that?
Yep. That was solid.
For episode 100, like, dude, like, what are we supposed to do? I just figured, you know, meme song out of Sweden.
Meme song out of Sweden. I mean, it's got a good name to it for it being the meme song out of Sweden. But again, it just feels too VTuber high on cocaine-ish.
You're right. We should do something.
I think I'm entering the world of VR chat, and I think we don't need to go there quite yet. Let's throttle back and find something a little more American here.
It's a little too recent, isn't it, to just go into the VR chat, like internet subculture? We should totally do something a little more CTC. It is episode 100 after all.
So the prophecies of old have come true. I see you brought your own cuck chair. You're like a chimp with a red. Wow! You are a rat!
All of this is giving us very weird vibes.
What is going on?
In this argument, sir.
Everybody, this is the Clowntown Chronicle, episode 100. We've been at this for 100 years. 100 years, I say. Daniel, has it felt like 100 years to you?
Oh, God. It feels like it's been longer than that with the way things go on in the world.
I know, things move so fast now. It's like just yesterday we were on episode 33 and we had a whole joke about that. And then episode 69 was just a dude laughing and everyone's like, what was that? You know, to me it was hilarious, but I think we lost listeners for that. They were really disappointed that episode 69 was like 8 seconds long.
That, and then we had episodes of just Biden talking about, you know, his kids touching his leg, ice cream, and
yes,
what America is.
Yes, the show has come so far. It started during the Biden administration. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't that feel so like 10 years ago?
Yeah, it feels forever. It's wild.
It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, the Trump presidencies, and we're never getting another one of them unless he goes full fascist. They make time fly. It's weird. But that's what Scott Adams would call Trump's magical ability to change reality. But Yeah, I don't know. I've been doing a lot of thinking about what it means to be on episode 100 now, and I'm trying not to overdo it with that.
It's crazy to think about it, man. Just from what America is to telling a veteran to stand up from a wheelchair.
Yeah.
To Trump going, you have no cards, and then Zelensky going, I ain't playing with any cards.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
It's
right.
been all over the place. What a wild ride.
All these crazy moments. And, everyone says, oh, I bet they're just going to do a mashup and no new content. They're just going to go through and watch and re-listen to their favorite moments from CTC history. And you know what? That's way too much effort to just go through back through 100 episodes, each being about 2.5 hours long. When they get long, 2 hours minimum. To go back through 200 hours of content and find favorite moments, I don't think that's possible. So you lucked out. It's not a cop-out, It's not reliving our best moments. It's actually a legitimate episode. And there you go.
Yep. God, it would be great if they decided to ever do instead of the YouTube rewind, do just a presidency rewind of all the random goofy things our presidents have said for the year.
That would be nuts.
It would be, I think, amazing to hear the amount of goofy things and the things they've done on camera. That it would be great to see a rewind of it.
Well, the way the news operates, is it depends on the public's propensity, one might say, to live just next to the memory hole. So a story can only last about a week and a half, 2 weeks maximum. Unless it's really big, like it's a full-blown campaign. But Charlie Kirk wasn't interesting 2 weeks later, and that was crazy.
Yeah.
But that's from the perspective of a media guy, right? I look at that and I'm like, this is going to lose energy in 2 weeks. And then it did. Easily.
I would say from someone who's not too much into being, even I knew that right away. This will last a couple weeks at best, if it's lucky.
Yeah.
I thought for sure it was used to be the first week, and then by hitting the second week, it was pretty much cooked.
Yeah. Well, there's some themes, there's some things that live in American culture forever. And we like to think of these as the Declaration of Independence, the Revolutionary War, the Gettysburg Address, and the establishment of Buc-ee's, right? These are things that will forever live in the American consciousness.
I really want to know what is with everybody in Buc-ee's. It's wild to me that people love it that much. It's just like Midwesterners and Quick Trip.
Yeah, well, Yankee detected. It's we don't know the magic of Buc-ee's. The only thing we know about Buc-ee's is that, I don't know if you've seen it, but off the highway there's a billboard that says 500 miles to Buc-ee's.
Yeah, it really baffles me. It's is this an actual attraction now? we got to stop at a gas station and go, guys, look at this. Read some plaques that are plastered all over the place about how it was built and when it was built and what makes it so amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's American culture, go big or go home. This lady visited a Buc-ee's and she had this to say.
I'm at Buc-ee's right now, and I just am looking for an explanation of what the hype is. This is hell. Everyone's you gotta go to Buc-ee's. This is like a Cracker Barrel and a gas station vomited all over each other.
Okay, hang on. How is that a bad thing? Cracker Barrel and gas station vomiting all over each other? How is that a bad thing? That's just peak American culture in a big blender.
Oh, this is big American culture.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect anything different, honestly.
Yeah.
And then made the ugliest clothes you've ever seen. I'm actually horrified because I think this is what Europeans and other people around the world think of when they think of American culture, in a dystopian way. No, it's real, and I'm in here right now, and what is this? I'm so scared.
Hang on a second. Dystopian way. I don't know, man. That to me is a utopia right there. It's all in one. That's the American dream, man.
Yeah.
People really don't know where we came from. This is the American dream right here. This is what everybody was thinking.
I love how everyone, all these like, I don't know, like a lot of people in America have this idea that Europe's like still some kind of socialist utopia. Like that's like Obama era stuff, right? Like they still think that like, we should do it the Swiss way or the way that the Finns do their system. They have socialism or whatever. You know, pick a country, right? Especially like Scandinavian countries or Nordic countries. They're like, why don't we do it like that? It's like, dude, we have like 1 billion more people than them. I'm being hyperbolic.
Yeah. It amazes me that people always look at us as like we're just the nonstop, like the slums of the world.
Well, I mean, we are.
And all of Europe is like high society, everybody looking rich.
Yeah, everyone's becoming the slums right now, except for like the Vatican.
Yeah, for real. Hang on a second now. I was like, last time I looked at Europe, they were looking like the floating trash bar they are.
Yeah. You know, like my mom was going to take a trip to Italy and it got canceled at the last minute for one reason or another. And I was talking to my dad about it. I'm like, have you warned her about pickpockets? And he's like, no. What do you mean? I'm like, when you go to Europe, almost no matter where you go, you have to think about pickpockets. Because we just don't have that problem here because, you know, people carry M16s everywhere they go and, you know, ride trained bears to work and wear cowboy hats and, you know, go to Buc-ee's. We don't have to worry about that kind of stuff over here. And it's hilarious because the grass is always greener. Like Americans look at Europe, a lot of Americans look at Europe and like, wow, high culture, high society. And then they look at us and like, Jesus, we're just like one giant gas station. But the Europeans are looking at us and like, wow, they got guns and they can say whatever they want. And there's no like social credit score and they're not a tiny island. You know, they're rich.
Yeah, you can walk around in the streets, and if somebody's trying to force an item onto you, and you say you know touch it and play with it a little bit, and you hand it back, doesn't mean you're buying it, and then nobody starts a fight, and the cops don't tell you to buy it.
Yeah. I mean, all
you
that
go over
stuff.
there, and it's like, oh, you grabbed that, you now have to buy. You better give him the money. And the officer looks at you and goes, "Yeah, do what he says."
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to be offensive, but that is just how Europe is. Like, it's a different world in a lot of ways. It's not just America with like better culture. There's just as many slums and losers over there. But you know, speaking of world travelers, I bet a lot of you are wondering where Adam is, you know, because it's episode 100. That's right. It's episode 100. Where's Adam? Daniel, do you know where Adam is?
I'm only going to assume he's somewhere in the world that involves him just screaming out cringe.
Yeah, well, he went camping.
Did you know that I feel for his sinuses right now because I bet they're going nuts.
I bet they are. No,
that's mine, and I was airsofting, and I had that problem afterwards.
He freaking ditched the show to go camping. I mean, honestly,
if you're gonna pick something to ditch the show on, I would agree. That's a good one. Getting away from the world and just enjoying the wildlife a little bit.
Well, why would you want to do all that when you could be here sitting on a Zoom call talking about the horrors of the 21st century, you know, for 100 episodes? What?
In the multimedia shovelware, yeah.
Why wouldn't Adam want?
Fantastic.
Why wouldn't Adam want to be here talking about AI slop and the imminent takeover of the universe by Bill Gates and his friends?
Why would we want to be sitting here strapped to a chair like Clockwork Orange, being forced to watch something? Yeah.
Off the web. Off the grid. No more covering the news. No more AI slop. No more Michael Rappaport. And no more battle droids. I can already see this was the right decision. Just out here touching grass, cooking some dogs. I think this was the truth I was always after. No autism, no schizophrenia, no nothing. Nothing but the trees, the wind, and the peace.
nothing but the trees, the wind, and... Huh? Who's there? Oh.
Hello, old chum.
Hey there, little buddy. Oh, you dropped your little red hat. Let me help you put that back on.
I'm not a gnolf. I'm not a gnoblin.
Oh, shit!
I'm a gnome, and you've been... No!
Ah, get off of me! Where the hell did you get a truck?
Get him,
Oh my god, they're in the trees! Get over here, you little bastard! Stop it right now, or I'm telling Ben Shapiro! Last I checked, they don't hold protests in rural Alaska! The closest university is 400 miles away! Ow! Stop!
Yeah, what a dork. Episode 100.
Oh man. Why would you want to go out there in the woods, you know?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
Beats me.
I hope he's enjoying himself, you know, like I really hope he's enjoying himself. You know, this lady in this clip, she mentioned freaking Cracker Barrel or whatever, and there was like that craziness about like Cracker Barrel changing its logo and getting rid of a main part of like what made it the Cracker Barrel. Did you hear about the latest rebrand this week?
Oh, don't tell me there's another one.
There is. You're never going to believe this. It's Long John freaking Silver.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Long John Silver. Did you even know they were still around?
Honestly, no. I thought they pretty much went bankrupt.
Right. Like, I remember there was one Long John Silver's in my good old college town, and like going there was forbidden. He just didn't go there. There was something going on at Long John Silver's. But like, I mean, think about it. Like, what do you know? What do you know about Long John Silver's? What's the name come from? It comes from the ocean. It comes from a pirate story called Treasure Island.
It's pretty much just like fish food, right?
Yeah.
Well, Long John
Seafood, that's all it
Silver's
is.
is making an unexpected logo change. I mean, honestly, I didn't know that there were still Long John Silver's around, but the chain
Yeah.
is known for its fried fish platters, but it's now swimming in a different direction. That new logo swaps its fish for a chicken.
Does this seem right to you? Are we being pranked?
I feel like Ashton Kutcher's going to come out at some point going, guys, it's just a prank. It's just a prank.
So they're putting a chicken on the Long John Silver's logo.
You know, more and more, I feel like that clip of the guy going, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
Yeah.
It just becomes more popular for me because what the heck is going on here?
Doesn't it feel like an April Fool's joke? Like this is a joke, right?
This has to be a joke. Like this has to be a joke. This can't be real.
I wish I could tell you.
This has to be AI. This
And
can't
adds
be
the
real.
text.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made the chicken with an AI. Like it's like Long John Silver's with a big freaking chicken right in the front. Why couldn't they have like, I don't know, like wouldn't it be funnier if there was like a chicken in a pirate costume riding a fish? Something that like incorporated the name a little bit somehow. Like, I don't know.
You know, they could have just done like an old sailor, but they replaced the face of an old sailor with the chicken.
Yeah. Yes. Like in one hand he has a fish and in the other hand he has a chicken leg, right? And he's like smiling.
Yeah.
That would make sense. But no, it's just a freaking chicken. Who is running these marketing firms? Like, this is nuts. I mean, but hey.
This is like going the direction of the IHOP going like the house of like pancakes to the house of burgers for like a joke.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everybody thought it was too real and it was getting people like fired up about it.
But that's the thing is like, this is again what I said about Cracker Barrel. This is a publicity stunt. I think that this is a publicity stunt. I don't think they'll stick to this.
Oh, I don't think they will. And I also don't think enough people are going to care like they did with Cracker Barrel.
No, because
it's nobody really thinks they're around anymore.
Right. Let's listen to a little bit more of CBS Chicago on this.
Chicken plus seafood. Along John Silver's executive says their chicken strips, known as chicken planks, are just as good as their fish, and it's time to let the secret out. The company says the move builds on successful testing of new chicken products at its flagship restaurant in Louisville, but seafood will remain the brand's cornerstone.
How does it remain your cornerstone if you put a freaking chicken on the logo? It's too stupid. I don't want to believe this is real. I'm sorry. I
can't believe it's real. It's got to be AI. That has to be. There's no way.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. I found the article on like freaking Fox News, and then I found a video from CBS. It's real. Apparently. I don't know.
What is going on?
It's another one of those things. It's like hard to know what's real anymore, you know. And that actually is a perfect segue into the truth, which is ironically like a weird segue into AI. If you're ready to talk about any of that.
Oh, I'm ready.
I mean, listen, it wouldn't be a full CTC 100th episode if we didn't talk about both of those things, right? Plus, I know Adam's going to regret not being here when he hears these next few stories.
Before we go right into the AI stuff, I actually wanted to ask you if you've heard about one of the companies that has an almost like a open like enrollment to get into it, to using it, almost like a beta. I want to say it's called Sora, right?
Yeah, Sora. Everyone's been posting stuff.
Yeah, I was like seeing everything of it. I'm like, man, these are really good. Like, it's scary good.
They're getting good. Now, my feeling on it is it's kind of gonna, I don't know how, but I get the feeling that it's gonna go the same way that Sora 1 went, which was the first time we all saw it, we were like, oh God, it's over. And then a year later, if you go and watch those original Sora videos, you're like, well, these are obviously AI. But the first time seeing it, your brain had no concept of like what you were looking at. So it was just like, this is real-ish. This looks pretty good. If you go back and watch them now, they're not nearly as convincing. But it turns out Uncanny Valley is quite the valley, and it dips straight down into hell.
An AI chatbot named Lambda created at Google by this engineer named Blake Lemoine. First, I want to point out that Lambda is the 11th letter in the Greek alphabet, and 11 is the number for magic. That's why Aleister Crowley added a K to the end of the word magic. You know, so MAGICK is how Crowley.
Hang on. We need the music for sure.
Said we should spell it to differentiate it from stage magic, because we're talking about something different here. We're talking about an occult energy. And this guy, Blake Lemoine, creates this chatbot, and he becomes this whistleblower in like the news. You know, he was even on Tucker Carlson talking about this, and Duncan Trussell's podcast. If you just go to online and just kind of read a quick article, you just be like, oh, this chatbot was saying all this crazy stuff, and ooh, it's spooky, whatever. But if you dig into it and you find out who Blake Lemoine is, he turns out he was this Gnostic mystic priest affiliated with Ordo Templi Orientis, the magical order we were talking about, Wicca, even the Discordian Society, which raises.
Okay, so the Ordo Templi Orientis, by the way, is basically a cringy fan club now. The OTO, as it was known by the likes of Jack Parsons and his ilk back in the day, these were serious guys. They were doing magic like crazy. But the OTO, I never will fail to bring this up. This was when we were working together. I went out on a smoke break, and I was listening to something from the OTO, and you're never going to believe it. They had a masking policy at their temple. And that's when I knew there was no more OTO.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. It's like, aha. So the conspiracy umbrella has overtaken the OTO. They're no longer at the top. They're out of favor, much like the Masons. Like the Masons they're just out of favor. They're not cool anymore, you know. But anyway, so let's hear a little bit more of this. This is interesting. This comes from the Confessionals podcast with Tony Merkel, who I have reached out to for a second interview, but he's a bit big now, so it's a little harder to get in touch with him. I would love to talk to him though, because our first interview was so good. I'll still say to people like, "You remember that interview with Tony Merkel?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, that was great." I'm like, it had nothing to do with history, but it's one of our most favorite episodes of We Talk About Dead People. Anyway, let's hear a little bit more what this guy has to say about this.
There's a host of other questions from me, because the Discordians were into all kinds of crazy stuff. And there was one thing they had called the Operation, and I can't say the word, it's called Operation Mind F. And the whole purpose of that operation was to flood, this is back in the 60s, to flood society with theories to sort of cause confusion and chaos. Arguably,
that's actually legit, by the way. Flooding the zone with way too much information, that's where we get the word conspiratard from. And I will point out, because y'all can't see it, but the guy giving this interview has what's known colloquially as the Q map behind him on his wall, which is a diagram of like probably 70% of all of those conspiracy theories that were put out by the intelligence agencies to flood the zone, to prevent people from coming to any kind of understanding.
I was like, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, it's a jamming signal. That's what it is. That's what overcomplicated conspiracy theories, family trees, all this stuff that like the Sam Tripoli's of the world get into. Only love, Sam. Not that he's listening, but only love. I'm not getting after you for it. But that's the thing, is like, there's a lot of this stuff that just floods the zone because it works as a jamming signal. And a guy who figured this out was the guy, what was his name? Alex Stein. He called it culture jamming, when he would go out and like chase down politicians and like AOC or whatever and say she was his favorite big booty Latina. You remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so that's called culture jamming. It's like you run up to a person like AOC who's living in her own little world, and you say, she's my favorite big booty Latina, and she has a blue screen of death in her face. She doesn't know what to do with that. That's too weird, right? Sam Hyde does this. He did it with his TED Talk. You remember his TED Talk that he did in the plastic armor?
Yep.
Yeah, that's culture jamming. It's a great way to like mess with NPCs, basically. But back in the 50s and 60s, when they were rolling this stuff out, most of American culture was completely homogenous, and it was really easy to figure out what would break a lot of people's brains, pay for one mass campaign, and the whole country is brainwashed. That's what the intelligence agencies were up to back then. Isn't that interesting to think about? I don't. I mean, episode 100, the government militarized Gnosticism to brainwash American culture into accepting that we now live in a clown show. That's what you get on episode 100. Anyway,
feels good.
Yeah, it feels good. Let's move on a little bit. I think I just made the point I wanted to make on that. Let's get rid of this here. What do we got? Oh, hang on. This is the same video. There was a funny video that came out. Do you remember the channel Kurzgesagt? Kurzgesagt? I don't know how to pronounce it. It's German.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's in a nutshell. So they would do these science videos for years that were animated. And So I found them when I was working in New York, and I had tons of time to kill, and I would just watch their videos because it was interesting to me. Like it was the first time that I had like an open mind to like, all right, what's the scientific community saying about our world and that sort of thing. And they used to be kind of cool. They were always a little cringe, not gonna lie, but it was interesting. But then during COVID, they clearly took like, I can't remember who funded them, if it was Bill Gates or some other such, or the WEF. Either way, they're totally compromised. They put out a video that they changed the title of. The video was originally called AI Slop is Destroying This Channel. And then when they got backlash, they changed it to AI Slop is Destroying the Internet, which is also accurate.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing about... Go ahead.
I was like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. It's absolutely taking over the internet and destroying it all. It's getting so hard to tell what is actually, created by somebody or not.
So the
It's just
crazy,
impossible at this point.
one of the crazy things about this video is that they've always had the same narrator. And you can tell he's not AI generated because when he's doing this one, he sounds tired. All of his other ones, he's Mr. Peppy. Like, what was their most famous, like, controversial video was their philosophy called optimistic nihilism, which is just about as cringe as it gets. And he just so peppy, full of optimistic nihilism. Is there blah, 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 blah. And then this one, he just sounds like he's about to give up. Like the checks aren't big enough. They're not coming. The channel's dying because of AI slop. Let's look at a little bit of this, and then I would like to pull it to the end. We're not going to watch the whole thing because he has a little bit of good info on like how the internet culture or internet culture as a whole with the use of AI is becoming like one great circle of life or cringe. The circle of cringe. Yeah. Let's go.
Where money is made with attention, fake users spread their slop in.
I know I started it, but I started it in the middle of something. This video starts with an ad, so I skipped it. So you can say thank you for that before you start complaining that you missed the beginning. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
A few sections generate fake traffic or poison discourse. AI has supercharged this and made slop much harder to spot. Today, about half of internet traffic is bots. The majority of them are used for destructive purposes. It's never been easier to make mediocre content. From the black hole of meaninglessness that is LinkedIn, low-effort short videos just engaging enough to hypnotize kids and fry their attention spans, to endless, soullessly rewritten books on Amazon. AI music is invading streaming platforms. Google AI is summarizing websites instead of sending traffic to them. On YouTube, new channels publish long-form videos multiple times a week with AI-generated thumbnails, voices, and scripts. True crime, video essays, science, no space is safe. We're in the golden era of soulless slop. And sadly, actual creative human work is used to train these AI models. Every Reddit comment, original YouTube video, or human drawing on DeviantArt has been sold out to the AI companies, or straight up stolen by them, without attribution or payment to the actual creators. Creative theft on a scale where it's impossible to protect against it, already putting loads of creatives' work in danger, so AI companies can get rich. While this is sad and frustrating, what's even worse is that generative AI truly has the potential to break the internet irreversibly by making it harder and harder to tell what's true. At first, AI looked great.
No, it didn't. It never looked good. No one was interested in this. Except for people who were like, we can replace our workers with this eventually. In my opinion.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody say like they were super hyped about AI coming out and like what it was doing. It was always, this is pretty scary to watch because we're going to see it go to the point of no return really fast.
Right. Right. And what he's talking about here is exactly what I was talking about just a moment ago with flooding the zone with too much information.
I was like, I remember watching people mess with like the AI art stuff and they're like, this is starting to kind of get like pretty like accurate in how people were able to generate stuff and pretty deep, like make it look decent. I was like, yeah, this is getting to a level of, oh, we're really going to go down a road of just getting rid of people's jobs, aren't we? That's the road we're going. Gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, creativity is something that can just be put into a machine. That's exactly what an uncreative person would think. Really. Like, yes, we can just figure out some sort of algorithm and just produce creativity with the push of a button. It can't be done. Creativity is dependent on sort of some sort of interaction between human beings. Like, it's required that it comes from a human source of truth and authenticity. You can get stuff that's visually interesting. Yeah, you can totally do that. But that's it. It's not meaningful. That's just an opinion, but I mean, to me, it's not meaningful.
Yeah, not meaningful, and it feels like it has no soul behind it.
Yeah, and that's why it so quickly got labeled as slop, no matter how high the fidelity was, right? Like even the new stuff that looks really good, it's just like, oh, it's slop. Do you want to see the? Well, I don't know if I should go here. I'm not going to go there. Well, should I? It's pretty offensive.
Let it roll. As I always say, just let it play out. Let's see what happens here.
I found the best use of AI, and I downloaded it because I thought it was perfectly appropriate. It's literally the most inappropriate thing. I might even cut this section, Daniel, but you have to see this.
Let it ride.
This is so bad. It's a guy flying through Walmart being pursued by employees.
Gain eager. Sir, stop flying through the store. Gain eager.
He's turning left. Go.
Gain eager. Get down from there. Gain eager.
Now that's a good use of AI. And by that, I mean culture. Should I let you? I'll let you breathe.
Oh man! Wow, that was just caught off guard. That really got me.
I told you, it's insanity, man. Like you can generate anything with these, and I think responding to it that way, or responding to it with something that's like, do you know why racism is popular now? Like casual racism. Do you know why it's popular now? It's because.
How much of taboo it is if people try to make it be.
Exactly.
If they didn't really kind of force it down that road, it wouldn't get to the level it is now.
Exactly.
It's just one of those of let it be. There's always extreme looking at if it's anybody going to the extreme of any type of culture, there's stereotypes for a reason, and we use them for a reason to identify certain things, especially when you're trying to look for somebody. You got to use those stereotypes. And it's not, why would you want to dance around? It makes it tough. And then we get to the point where we are, where anything is going to bother somebody with one little thing you say. It's you can't say color and you can't say black. So then what do you want to call someone when you talk about their skin tone? When an officer comes up to you and goes, hey, what do they look like? Well,
right.
Now I can't really say either or. I guess he was an American, or you could say African American. But then again, African American is not even what they are, because if they're born in America, then they're American. They're from Africa.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing. It's like that. Even all of that, right? This goes back to the proposition that we put forward on the show of how dare those boys? You remember that?
Yep.
Okay, people are doing casual racism now because teacher really doesn't like it. That's why they do it. It's culture jamming the system. It's the one weapon that's been leveled against America, well, the entire West, honestly. But we're Americans, so let's talk about America. It's been leveled against Americans for 60 freaking years, 80 years. It's been leveled against Americans for a really long time. The charge of racism. So now comedians are going back into the zone, and they're doing racism again, ironically, because they're giving a big middle finger to the system. It's midwits who get caught up on the actual schema of what's being done and miss the entire point, which is this is being done because screw you. That's what it is. And that's why, an AI-generated video of a guy flying through Walmart shouting these forbidden words is so funny. It's not because we're sitting here laughing, oh, ha, ha, racism is so funny. It's, you're not allowed to do that. Yep. You're not allowed to do that. Exactly. So anyway, that's my point. That's the point that I wanted to make about that, I guess. But that's the thing. AI slop.
Before you continue,
yeah.
I just want to add, that video could have almost been a Walmart commercial if it wasn't for the guy flying around saying racial slurs.
I know.
The quality of it would be a Walmart commercial.
It's good. It amazes me. It's really good. But that's why I saved it, because it's going to be gone. That kind of thing will get deleted quickly, right?
Oh,
because nobody wants Sora saying those things. Well, not nobody. But the people who do Sora don't want Sora making things like that. But they're perfectly fine with someone making a Pikachu ASMR podcast like we showed on our last episode. Right? They're perfectly fine with Mr. Rogers, delivering a speech of the Battle of Agincourt.
Hello, neighbor. We're in the middle of the Battle of Agincourt, October of 1415. It's a muddy, crowded place, and it's very noisy.
Behind all of this pageantry and noise, there was a simple reason this fight is about to happen. The King of England believed he had a rightful claim to the crown of France.
Okay, so, we can use it for all kinds of things, but who is getting sued for stealing Mr. Rogers' likeness and doing these? Who's getting sued for for this one.
We're over the 405 northbound, and yes, that is exactly what you're seeing. A hamburger on wheels doing 80. At the wheel, the yellow character identified as SpongeBob SquarePants passenger, his friend Patrick Star.
Who's getting sued for this? Nobody.
Oh man, yeah. No, if they do, it'd be the people who made it. But even then, I don't think they can, because you can also claim this as like, what's it called? Almost everybody who does like comedic takes and parodies could be used against like the reason for getting sued for that and using those characters' likeness.
That's the thing.
It's because it falls in line with parody, and that's the problem. Like, it's a muddy and gray area.
Right. It's because it's a legal miasma. It's like there's no one to target. There's no one to target. What are you gonna do? Who are you gonna sue? Right. Let's go back to in a nutshell here just for a little bit, because it's the end of the video that made me laugh. First of all, the end of the video is an actual 2-minute ad for their dumb book, because they think that, well, they may be losing a lot of views and whatnot to AI slop, but they're talking about how their process involves a lot of animation, and there's people who do all this stuff, and it costs money, yada yada yada. So it's going to be our jarring start, but just hang on. Here we go.
Human creativity in our illustrations and animations. Put our creative soul into our work. We'll continue to fact-check and discuss our research with human experts to give you the most trustworthy information that we can. When we make mistakes, they will be our mistakes. We would rather quit than make AI slop. But to go on, we need your support.
Now, hold on. The final point I wanted to make about this is the reason they can make AI slop out of your videos, in a nutshell, the reason they can do it is because you already think like a robot. You think like a Redditor. You organize your research and your understanding like a Redditor. That's why it's copyable. Because you're not authentic. You see? They talk about, oh, we'll have AI podcasts and then we won't have podcasters anymore. Nonsense. Nonsense. No AI podcast is gonna give you accurate or authentic takes. They can't do it. It's like you go on Reddit. Doesn't matter the topic. They all talk the same. They say the same things. They have pretty much the same core set of beliefs that if you violate, they spurg out and turn into blue screens. The reason this can be copied is the same reason you can culture jam a Redditor. It's because they're not adults. They think like children. Well, my dad said, my mom said. It's referential knowledge. They don't know anything and they have zero experience. That's why it's copyable. But anyway. What do you think? Should we press forward?
Yeah, we should press forward.
All right. I am going to skip a few things. I had some information about how telecoms used to work, but that's boring stuff. That's me. Here's another truth clip. You want to do another truth clip, or would you like to move on to this? Oh, okay. Here we go.
Truth is still good.
This is the truth about artificial light.
Trouble sleeping? It might be the lights you're under. These are LED lights. They're everywhere and they're flickering even though you can't tell. Watch this. I'm gonna slow this video down. This is horrible. You see, that's stimulating for your nervous system. Your nervous system hates that. It makes you tired but wired at night. It's causing headaches. It's causing eye strain. It's really messing with your circadian rhythms. What's the solution? Incandescent bulbs. These are the old school bulbs with the tungsten filament that gets heated to 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit. These are the Edison bulbs. They're beautiful. They don't flicker. Even though there's an AC current going through the bulb has thermal inertia, and that means your eyes perceive that as constant steady light like it is outside. Watch what happens when I'm outside. There's no flicker from the sun, and if you want to sleep better and you want to feel better, put yourself under better lights. This is unhealthy processed light, just like processed food is bad for you.
Okay, all right. It's processed light. I always got headaches from fluorescent tube lighting. And LED lighting, not going to happen. Not in my house. No, sir. Do I think that there's some conspiracy? I don't think so. There's a lot of people who say that the flickering is like supposed to make you uncomfortable, and yes, it does at a subconscious level. I don't think it's conspiratorial. I think it just all comes down to, is this cheaper? Simple.
Yeah,
it's
I
still,
agree, 100%.
It's still bad for you. What he's saying about flicker is totally real. Totally real. I have Edison light bulbs in my kitchen. It's awesome. You can't see a thing because they're really dim. But, you know, when I come in at night and I turn them on, oh my gosh, it's so calming and so peaceful. It's so nice. And then I have regular ass light bulbs on the other switch in case I need to see something while I'm cooking. But the rest of the time, like, I just turn on those Edison bulbs and man, they're nice. Nice. You won't believe the difference if you're sensitive to light.
Yeah, I want to swap the ones that are in like the lights that hang over our island in our kitchen to like just nice soft lights, because right now they're like LED lights because I bought the wrong ones. And I'm like, man, like this is the one light I would like in the middle of the night just to be on if I have it. And it's just soft and it won't bother me when I'm just up going to the kitchen for like a glass of water or something. Because man, it's like it lights up the whole house. And I'm like, this, I can't turn it on. I don't want to my fiance. Just
I requested replacement bulbs from my apartment complex, and they came in and they swapped them out with they had these really nice lights. They came in and swapped them out with these white lights that made it feel like I was in a doctor's office. Like every time I walked in the kitchen and flicked that switch, it was like the surgeon's lights it turned on and I was going under the knife. Like it's like there was almost like this boom sound and I turned them on and I was like, oh God. So I immediately just, I bought more. And then I had somebody buy me a couple smart lights for Christmas, and those are kind of cool, I guess. But, same thing. It's like the Edison lights are fantastic. It gives you a Christmas feeling year-round. But anyway, I know that's enough of that. That's enough truth. That's enough truth. You want to talk about politics? Everyone wants to talk about politics. You want to talk about politics a little bit?
Can I ask what the politic is?
Come on, it's really funny. So one of the things I wanted to do for episode 100, pardon me for 1 second. For episode 100, one of the things I wanted to do was sort of take a look back and revisit some of the people that gave us some of our favorite buttons. Yes?
Okay. Yeah, I'm down for that. That sounds like a good time.
So,
it's like going through our roots.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little trip down memory lane. Where is my very weird vibes button? You remember the Candace Owens ones? Candace Owens one?
Yep, I remember that.
I don't know if I still have it on the board. I feel so old. Like we have too many buttons.
It gets buried with all the new ones constantly.
I know. I know I still have the file though because it was here in our opener. This is with a little bit of reverb.
All of this is giving us very weird vibes.
Yeah, see, so I still have it. It's just there's only so many buttons on the board, and I can't have 30 pages of things to scroll through. But so I've got Candace Owens. She actually went down in history this week. For it was this week or last week, I don't know, but the clip became famous rather quickly. She was going on some conspiratorial rant or whatever. And I have this reaction from Mr. Asmongold. It just made me laugh.
Are you so scared? You don't get to ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Are you so scared? You don't
She crazy.
get to ask those questions.
She crazy. Just look at that. Crazy. She nuts, bro. She's so crazy that it's almost hot.
I know what he's talking about. But that's another thing entirely.
I like how if the rest of the comment from him is that it would be hot if I didn't already have a previous girlfriend that was more crazier than this.
Well, let's see if he should say it in the clip.
And it would be hot if I didn't already previously have a girlfriend that was more crazy than this was. And I know where it goes. 4 a.m, phone calls, text messages with I hate you and I love you that can fit on the same phone screen. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I forgot about that man's ex. Yeah,
I don't know
crazy.
I don't know the story about his ex, but I know
It
what
was
he's
one of those
talking
of
about.
like the girl that he was dating at the time was like, you would look at and go, oh, how did he land that? Because for everybody knows that he is like a pretty much like lives like a rat.
Right.
And his girlfriend was quite the opposite and actually really good looking too. Like I put like maybe at like a 9 out of 10 if I remember
Jeez.
who it was. And he was like, oh, she's dating him? How did this work out? And then you find out, oh, she's crazy. That's why.
Yep. Well, guys will put up with it as long as she's hot. And then the moment that they have to deal with enough of this and they've had their way, there's like a wall that goes down in front of their face and they can no longer hear that hoe. There's nothing. There's no like, oh yeah, I get it. I know why clowns fall for these women. But at a certain point, you are gonna back away and be like, "Oh my God, you're like a weird witch." I don't care how pretty you are. You know, another guy I thought we'd bring back for our soundboard is this guy.
If you believe that, I don't know what else to tell you.
Remember that guy?
Yep.
Yeah. That's Rob Reiner. And he was hitting the airwaves this week with more of his I don't know what you call it, old-fashioned Democrat takes on MSNBC. And he's kind of he's good at this, right? He knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's good at sucking up attention because he's interesting to listen to. He has a very unique voice. But I put this clip in the chamber, and then I found another one, which just blew my mind because it's hilarious. So here's Rob Reiner on democracy.
This is just the beginning, and people have to understand our democracy is being taken away from us, and we only have about a year. Just to be clear about this. And people, you're doing a great job, and a lot of other people are doing a good job to tell people what is actually happening in this country. But make no mistake, we have a year before this country becomes a full-on autocracy and democracy completely leaves us. And we're looking at the election in 2026, and Donald Trump knows. He knows that in a free and fair election, he will lose. He will lose the House. The House will flip and will become into Democratic hands. There'll be committee chairs that'll be able to hold hearings. And this is the last thing he wants. So this little, these ICE agents and the National Guard, and now he's called the military in from all over the world to talk to them about.
You know how I said this was politics?
Yeah.
This isn't politics. This is what people think is politics, right? This is what people who still watch the TV think is politics. I mean, really, like you have to have an interview on MSNBC to be taken seriously, apparently, right? You have to have you have to have a certain level of quality in order to convince people that you're telling the truth. And people look at a guy like Rob Reiner and they're like, oh, he's serious. He must know things because he's like rich and on TV. And he can be up there saying, we have a year before our democracy is taken away.
More and more, he's starting to remind me of the man himself, Netanyahu, with what was it, Hamas and Iraq, any of those people having weapons of mass destruction every time.
Dude, I know you're going to hate this. We do have an Israel segment because October 7th,
bitch.
It's episode 100. We've been with you the whole way, right? We really,
son of a gun, you got me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But like, we have to go back to it. I have something that is going to blow your mind. And I'm telling you, like, I heard about this on a tiny show. And I had to look it up for myself, but it's one of our last stories, and it's gonna make the Christians so mad.
Oh, I can't wait.
We have
You're hyping this up. Now I'm interested.
We have a lot of them listening, and you're not going to believe what you guys are not going to believe what I'm about to show you. But it is insane. So stick around for that. There's your trailer. But anyway, so the second clip that I was teasing is Rob Reiner through the years. As you can see here, he's looking, he's a silver fox with that bald head. He's not quite old yet, but he's tiled across this video, and with each tile, he just gets a little bit older. Scott Adams reposted this, so of course, because Scott Adams dictates everything I say because I'm hypnotized by him, I had to replay this. Here we go. Here's Rob Reiner through the years.
We are being tested right now as to whether or not 241 years of self-rule will emerge. We are on the track to destroying what we've had for 243 years. Democracy depends on it, and whether or not we sustain the 244 years of self-rule. 246 years we're coming up on, the longest democracy in the world, and it's hanging by a thread. Do we want fascism, or do we want to continue the 248 years of self-rule? We've been around for 249 years. We've had that many years of self-rule, and the election that you're seeing coming up in 2024 is going to be a referendum on whether...
Wait, there it was. Did you hear it? He does it every time. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
That's another button.
Oh.
You're so prolific with the words.
Every time.
Oh, no. All right, we're almost done. We have to get through this montage, but one more gurgle from Mr. Reiner.
A referendum on on whether or not we want to maintain and hold on to our democracy, or do we want to give it over to autocracy, fascism? We have, I would say, a year to be able to correct this and see whether or not our 250-year experiment continues to survive. And
I'm sorry, I have to make a point on this too. What do you think? I'm not going to make a point. I'm going to ask you, Daniel. What do you think of this phrase, the American experiment?
It reminds me of the same thing of the American dream.
Mm-hmm.
Except on a different scale.
I wonder who.
That we're just a long-lasting experiment to see how long that our democracy will stand. And then go like this.
I know. The American experiment origin. I have to know. We've probably looked this up to me. We probably looked it up before, but I have to know. Let's see here. The American experiment refers to two distinct concepts of political philosophy from the time of the nation's founding. But who coined it? Phrase origin. It originated with George Washington. The first president explicitly referred to the new nation as the last great experiment for promoting human happiness. But I don't think so. I'm sure. Okay, sure. But it feels branded, doesn't it? Like you said, the American dream.
Yeah. That's also heavily branded by us.
It's like the Great Crusade. Remember that?
Yep.
All this stuff sounds like it came right out of Freud's freaking cousin. What was his name? Why can't I think of his name right now? The father of modern propaganda. He wrote Crystallizing Public Opinion or Public Consciousness. What was his name? Why can't I think of it? There's someone in the audience just screaming. Propaganda, Edward Bernays. I knew it. I can never think of it because I always think of mayonnaise. I just need to call him Eddie Mayonnaise. And then I'll remember forever. Speaking of people who are memes, which Rob Reiner is a meme, and that's why he's so funny, because it's just the same old bastard saying the same thing over and over again. Anna Kasparian made herself a meme this week. Did you see this clip? It was going everywhere.
Possibly, actually.
You remember her? What are we doing, Shank?
Yep.
Yeah. She did an impression of Larry Ellison, the man who bought TikTok. And this is a clip sent to me by a young proud Zoomer, because I wasn't gonna do it because it's very visual, right? But this guy does a good job of explaining like what's going on with this story. If you haven't seen the clip, hunt it down because it's hilarious. This is muted. Now
Fire recently because of this clip.
Yes, we're gonna surveil everybody. Everyone will be on their best behavior. Yes, you're a freak. You're a total creep.
Daniel, what was she doing there? That she was doing a face.
The face was hard to tell, but it almost looked like someone who would be like, what's it called? It reminds me of like the Frankenstein doctor, just kind of giving like, oh, good, very good.
Yeah, it's like a mad scientist.
Scientist, yeah, go the kind of style. All you're missing is the fingers clasping together, like, yes, it's good and all according to plan.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. God.
So anyway, let's get a little more context on this.
Many are calling it anti-Semitic because her gestures.
Of course. Of course! We're not even at the Israel segment yet, and here we are. I apologize.
Let me guess. He's gonna say it's looking like a form of a greedy Jew.
Yeah, he's gonna say it looks like the happy. There it is behind him, the happy merchant. All right, here we go.
Seem to resemble this caricature over here. He's making fun of this dude, Larry Ellison, the CEO of Oracle, who's involved in the purchase of TikTok.
Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. Not people that are looking at those cameras. It's AI that's looking at the camera. No. You can't do this.
He's a Jewish Zionist and the largest private donor to the IDF. He's making fun of this dude whose primary motive of buying TikTok is to rewire the algorithm to be pro-Israel and monitor your data. People think that her mocking this dude is more important than the fact that this guy is now going to be monitoring your data to make sure that you love Israel. So that's
Israel. Yeah, dude, we know. Everyone's watching us all the time. Be afraid. Be very afraid. You know who's not afraid? You know who's not afraid of all this? It's our president, Donald J. Trump.
I don't think he's afraid of anything, really.
Yeah, he doesn't afraid of anything.
I'll tell you what, I'm getting calls from Democrats wanting to meet. I never even heard their names before, and they're claiming to be leader. The Democrats have no leader. They remind me of Somalia, okay? You know? And I met the president of Somalia. I told him about the problem he's got. I said, you have somebody from Somalia who's telling us how to run our country. She's from Somalia. He said, would you like to take her back? He said, no, I don't want her. Okay, you know who I'm talking.
See, Trump doesn't care.
Yep.
He just doesn't care. Oh my gosh. So another little thing that was popping up this week was the Antifa doesn't exist meme. Speaking of Trump and fighting ghosts. Did you hear about this?
No, actually.
Yeah, they're trying to gaslight the entire country into believing that Antifa doesn't exist.
Okay.
Now, if you go, let me hear this person out. I want to know, is this legit? Like, does Antifa not exist? There's a little wiggle room in there for them to say, well, it's not officially an organization. And, you know, these people calling themselves Antifa, they're a collective of individuals. You know, what they want to talk about is a miasma, a leaderless movement, something like that. So that means it doesn't exist. And Jimmy Kimmel himself, you know, now that he's back in the free speech zone.
There's no Antifa. This is an entirely imaginary organization. There is not an Antifa. Like,
he came out and said that like immediately. Now, I know it's a tiny clip. You can go watch the whole show, but the whole thing, and everyone's applauding, ooh, because he's like, Antifa doesn't exist. Oh, yeah, I know what they're saying. They're trying to weasel their way into this one. But come on, man. We all know what we mean by Antifa. Don't we?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, this kind of reminds me of the nonstop jokes of and the Holocaust never happened. The gulags never existed either. While we're at it,
Wait, what? What is this?
it's just like the ongoing joke of people saying that the like certain things in the world that happen in the world in the events of time that just never existed.
Yeah, well, I mean, a funny one that I
And
heard.
there's somewhat documentation of it. Like, yeah, this happened.
I heard a funny one I heard years ago was like, I was like, well, do you think we went to the moon or not? And somebody laughs and goes, you still believe in the moon? Kind of like that, right?
Oh boy, yeah, one of those.
Yeah, it's talking past the sale, right? Oh, we're not actually talking about whether or not we went to the moon. That question becomes irrelevant if there is no moon, right?
Yep.
So it's like well, anyway, the caption on this is that the NPCs have been issued their new talking point this week. So here's another lineup of people all saying the same thing because they're a bunch of brain dead robots. A bunch of NPCs or battle droids, if you will.
There's no Antifa. This is an entirely imaginary organization. There is not an Antifa.
Like, I don't even know what Antifa is. There is no group.
It's not even like far-right groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. Compared to right-wing extremists, Antifa-linked violence is rare and limited.
It isn't an organization. It is a in many ways mythology.
It's not like the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers, sort of defined terrorist organizations with leadership that leads violence.
It's not a highly organized movement. It's a moniker. It's not a unified group like the Proud Boys are.
Things like Antifa are things that are thought up.
It's all in this guise of going after Antifa, which is nothing. There's no organization called Antifa.
Nobody's a member of Antifa because it doesn't exist. They are just declaring into existence something that doesn't exist.
There is no Antifa organization, so maybe that's good for social media, but it really is non-existent.
They exist on the internet in chat rooms and in 4chan and Discord and places like that where they run discussion boards, trade tactics, documents, things like that. But none of them are called Antifa.
This is so dystopian.
Yeah. We're getting down that road.
Yeah. It's like, holy moly. Like, we're just supposed to ignore that these people were we saw them. We saw them. They made statements. They blow things up. They occupied Portland. And even, I mean, you name it. Every American city's got some element of this there. But they're not an organization. They don't exist. That's technical speak. What they're saying is they don't have some piece of paper that says we are Antifa. They don't have they don't have a constitution or something.
But Aaron, there's no war beyond the walls of Ba Sing Se. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
yes. Existed. It never happened.
That's right. That's right. It's like imagine living in a country or a world where there weren't thousands of highly paid shills trying to gaslight the public. What a utopia that would be, right?
Yep.
It's like, gee whiz, man. Gee whiz.
Man.
Some people.
What a road.
We accept the world with which we are presented, as Christoph would say from The Truman Show. And I think most people are like that. I think a lot of people will be like, Antifa is like, they're like, I think a lefty, like a typical lefty, be like, Antifa is really hardcore. We don't do that. Like, we just like gay people and we like minorities and immigrants and all that stuff. But like, we're not Antifa. But they would accept that they existed. But I think now the same normies who would do that are now going to copy this line. Antifa doesn't exist because it shifts blame from them.
Oh, that's already been happening. They've been saying that for a while now, that Antifa doesn't exist.
I just can't believe
that it's a lie. It's a Republican psyop is what I've been hearing a lot.
The world would be so much better if we didn't have evil people just trying to scramble everyone's eggs all the time. You know?
I would agree.
Unfortunately, we live under occupation.
We're independent thinkers. Roger, 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 roger.
Ugh. What's next? Oh, yes. Let's see here. We are going to get to our Israel segment, but I think it's important that we do our donation train because, it is our 100th episode. Wait, I said it, so I have to blow the thing. There you go. It's important. It's important that we recognize people who have been with the show for a long time. So let's go.
Little Caesars Hot and Ready Pizza. Walk in, walk out.
It's hot and ready, whenever you want it. It's hot and ready, get it tonight.
Pick up a large, freshly made hot and ready pepperoni pizza for only $5. No need to call ahead. It's hot and ready all day, every day. Nobody gives you fresh hot pizza faster than Little Caesars.
It's hot and ready.
I'm okay.
Get it tonight.
Pizza, pizza. Always remember to stack that bread, neighbor.
All right. We have some people to thank for episode 100. And right off the top, we have Tom, of course. And he sends 100. He sends 100 smackaroos for 100 episodes. He is our top donor to the show by a large margin. Well, not like an incredible margin, but by a large margin, he is the top donor to the show. It's been his consistent support, his memes on Telegram. I just feel that he deserves the crown today. Just saying.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
I think this is amazing.
It's amazing. Like, hard to know. Like, I did a little review because I was calculating expenses for the show and all of that good stuff. And, I pulled up a little report and it showed me how much Tom's given to our little show over the lifetime of the thing. And it's just amazing to me. I'm sure he is tearing his earbuds out right now, being like, "Shut up, guys! I just do it for the memes." But it wouldn't be appropriate to just honor him by listening to him, because I can hear his voice in the distance, all the way from Texas. He's like, "I don't want any credit. I am just doing what I believe is right." All right, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to read his note and then we'll move on. But thank you, Tom, for your continued support. We love having you in the Telegram. We love that you're listening. And we appreciate all of it. He says, the number 100 signifies completeness, perfection, and a significant achievement or a large, complete quantity, or in your case, tenacity, drive, and unbridled autism. Good job, boys. Roger, Roger. Isn't that sweet? That's sweet. I feel like beautiful. I'm going to play him his favorite
We're
button.
independent thinkers. Roger, 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 roger.
And then because we haven't heard it in a while.
Five.
It's for you, Tom. All right.
Yes, the 100 that says it's completeness and beautiful. Don't worry, we'll ruin it with next week's episode by doing 101. Absolutely destroying it and making it the worst.
I can't wait for episode 101 because it's just all Israel. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Ruined right there.
Just kidding. Apparently Trump ended the war over there, so we won't have to ever hear about it ever again. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yes. Okay. Let's move on. Next up we have none other than Miss Producer. It's just one of those things, you know? She also sent 100 smackaroos to make sure that we all knew that she was thinking about all of us. It's not just about me, guys. Like, I know she loves me and we're getting married and all that stuff. But she loves all of you too. I promise. Not as much, though. Anyway, so she says, Congratulations on 100 episodes. Love you guys with a little heart. Isn't that sweet?
Aw.
It brings a tear to my eye. And next up we have Scott from Tasmania. He sends 20. And he says, congratulations, guys. May your worst episodes be behind you and even greater shows to come. Yeah, I sure hope. I sure hope they're
so,
behind us.
Don't worry, there's going to be plenty more horrible episodes coming forward because, you know, news media loves pumping out all the slop in the world.
Well, yeah. Well, we are the stomach of the world. That's what podcasters are. We digest this stuff, and that's where the story ends.
Yeah, our running like slogan should never be, you know, it's only up from here. No, it's only down.
No, it's
100% down.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Stonks down, never up.
Yeah. You know, silver's triple what it was worth in 2020 or 2022 actually. And gold is I think geez, if it's not triple also it's quadruple the value that it was in 2022-ish. I don't know what that means. But I'm really glad I stacked some silver back then. Bullets are also going to be valuable. Anyway.
So is lumber.
Lumber, bullets, cartons of cigarettes, you know, those kinds of things. Soap. Soap is good. Batteries, medical supplies, canned food, like all this stuff. These are stores of value. It can't hurt to stack a little silver or stack a little tuna and some, you know, MREs or an Alex Jones survival bucket if you can find one and they're not totally sold out. And speaking of Alex Jones, of course, we have Bros with 333. And he says, can we get another white butt statue Hobbit riff? Of course.
White butt statue.
There you go. And that's everybody who made it on time. I don't know if there was anybody else, but I will refresh just to make sure one more time. Just to make sure that Whole Milk Enjoyer didn't come in here with his 70 cents, but I know he's totally broke. He is in college after all.
Now, if we do see it, guess what? You're not going to get in, you know, your donation in because that's just how it's going to be. No, you got to wait for the next one now.
That's true. And he did send 2. Was it last week or the week before? He did send 2. No, we're clear. That's everybody. That's everybody. So no, Whole Milk Enjoyer is still extremely broke.
Little Caesars hot and ready.
That's the wrong button. I meant to hit this one.
We are so broke.
And that's fine.
But
That's
I mean,
fine.
that Little Caesars hot and ready is exactly probably what he's spending to get, you know, for food and sustenance.
Exactly. He needs to save that 70 cents this week to afford a hot and ready next week. Yes. Yes, absolutely. All right. Let's move on to just a little more politics, and then we'll get to the hilarious thing that I have promised for you here at the end. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're pretty good. Okay. So remember Brylan Hollyhand?
Vaguely, yes.
Yes, he's the Charlie Kirk replacement that got rolled out of the factory.
Yeah.
Like, yep. So I found this clip of him. And it made me laugh because there's something that's really common about everybody who is against this country, whether knowingly or not. But like, it's pretty obvious that even if you call yourself a conservative, if you're advocating for more immigration when we have the highest immigration of all time everywhere, you have somebody's hand in your pocket. And either that hand has like a nice crisp $100 bill in it, or they've reached a little bit lower and they've got a good firm grasp, the kind of one that, you know, hurts. I think Hollyhand might have both. And another thing that I want to point out is that, like, Hollyhand, really? Hollyhand, come on. Hollywood. You remember the story about Hollywood, right? The name Hollywood? It's a wizard's staff. He's got holly in his hand, and he's waving it in front of your face. Watch out. You don't want to kiss this guy on Christmas Eve.
You're saying you are we're continuing supporting legal immigrants in the country. I said the melting pot absolutely is something that we should continue to do.
So we should keep increasing the amount of legal immigrants.
Legal immigrants, yes, we're a melting pot. I absolutely support that.
So
So Hollyhand over here, you can tell he's not America First and he's not a replacement for Charlie Kirk because he absolutely believes we should continue to have legal immigration and that we're a melting pot. These are memes, but also supporting these things is, it's 2025. It's not cool anymore, and no one has patience for it. We already know that there's too many people. The traffic is crazy in the cities. The lines are too long. Everything's getting more expensive. Rent's going up. Everything's getting worse, and it's all down to we have too many freaking people here. That's it. So anyone out there advocating for this stuff is either incredibly ignorant, living in the year 2008, when things were really starting to get crazy, or they're a bad guy. And I think that Brylan Hollyhand is a bad guy. Because, you know, when he doesn't sound too different from friggin' Jeff Bridges, being a conservative young voice, I question his commitment to conservative values.
And, yeah, ice. Let's get ice off our streets and into our beverages. This aggression will not stand, huh? Right? Right. So let's just abide, abide together. Yes, we can do this. Now, that's just like my opinion, but it's a good one. Don't you
That's
think,
a pretty
Jay?
great opinion,
Yeah,
I
man.
think. Thank you.
Oh, and he's on with Kimmel, and they're drinking White Russians, and he's wearing the sweater from The Big Lebowski. What a man! What a guy! What is this? I feel like I'm going
that
crazy.
I feel like should just be AI slop because it almost feels like it.
Yes. Yes. But like, what on earth? Like, who? Why? Like, people have to live in their televisions to take this seriously. Here's a man who is an actor portraying himself as an actor wearing a costume that he wore to play a character, drinking a drink that he probably doesn't even like for a character that was on a movie in the 90s. How many layers of irony are we on here?
The same amount that only the 6 million people who actually watched this really enjoyed.
Yeah, something like that. But how absolutely nuts do you have to be to take this seriously? You know, there's tons of people who do. They laughed at this and they went, oh, yeah, let's get ice out of the streets and into our beverages, man. Wow, Big Lebowski. Huh? What world are people living in? Is rent not going up for you, too?
Yep. That's where we're at.
It's just crazy. And patience is going to run out. People are going to run out of patience for this level of ignorance. I mean, I don't have patience for it. And when somebody starts talking to me about like this kind of stuff and they just start like gargling and vomiting up the demonic messages they got from their light box in their home, I've gone from, let me offer a counterpoint gently so you don't eat my face, to I can't help you. And frequently I will just say, tell me more about that. And then they'll just go the next level and just say more of the propaganda. They're AI, dude. It is something else. I'll just say that. It is something else. I mean, that's the whole reason we started this show, not to get retrospective, but like at the beginning of it, we were like, yeah, the no one's listening to the mainstream media anymore. I'm afraid it's a habit, much like smoking or drinking. It's just a habit you fall into, right? And you eventually just take it for granted that when you go home at night, you're going to put on your glow box and you're going to watch some things that just tell you what to think. And I know public opinion is turning against the news and has been for a very long time. But we still live in a world where people need a Jimmy Kimmel in a suit with a famous face sitting behind a desk to give you your assigned opinions. And that's how you do information. And I know not everyone's cut out to do this. Not everyone has a freaking podcast or wants to talk about it or can talk about it. But it's just sad when you see how the sausage is made on this. And you just like know that there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people out there watching this, like giggling and laughing and like, oh, Jeff Bridges is my friend. And, you know, he's Mr. Lebowski. So, you know, he has to be right about the immigrants. And then they lock the gate on their community and they never have to think about it ever again. You know, it's like from over here, the idea that there are British people who are not opposed to mass immigration to their tiny little island. From over here, they look insane because that place is not that big, right?
Yeah.
And we see London and it looks like a foreign country. And the cities around London are looking more and more like a foreign country. And there's a lot of people over there on the so-called right who are like, we got to stop this. It's going to swallow us whole. To understand that there are grown adults with houses and mortgages and college education and good paychecks and jobs that require a lot of knowledge to do properly, that there are people over there in Britain who talk just like this, there's no problem. Just bring them all in. We can absorb it. It's shocking. And they have all the same arguments against it, like you're just a racist or you just don't like foreigners. It's just crazy.
Yep, the same words, racist, bigot, you know, all that fun stuff.
Yep. It's, yeah, and I think that's the one, so like, talking about the future just a little bit, that's one that's not going away. I think the Israel story will dry up. I think the content on Zionism and all that stuff will also dry up, even though the likes of Candace Owens and all these other people have made a lot of hay out of that. And we did too. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The war was the focal point for a lot of this show. And it's going to be our next segment too. But that's the thing. I think the immigration thing is going to continue to be the biggest freaking elephant in the room for a very long time.
Oh God, yeah. I think it'll be for a very long time, and many, 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 many more to come.
Mm-hmm. And why is
something that nobody wants to touch on, even though it should be talked about?
Yeah, but like, why is that the thing? Let's think about this like logically a little bit. Like, why is immigration so important? So important. Why is it just essential that we bring in half of India to the United States? Why is it essential that we bring in foreigners from all over the world just to get them here? Well, to fill the jobs, to grow the industry, to do what? To do what? Make more money? Like, for who? Why is it so essential to turn Britain into not Britain? Just simplify it that way.
Yeah.
And it becomes pretty clear why that's being done.
God, it's the argument of, oh man, we need all these people to fill these jobs in the U.S. that nobody wants. And I'm like, but we have the people here who want those jobs that want to fill it. We don't need to bring in more people who don't want to be here and are here just to, you know, take them to the space of people that want to be here.
Mm-hmm. It goes back to something that I was saying, one on the hunger episode, which actually was one of our least listened to episodes ever, the hunger. And that was about why they need to replace people that remember when things were better with people who don't know the language, don't belong here, don't know the story, and will accept whatever. It, like, literally whatever conditions you put them in, they'll just accept it because they've been told it's better. You got to get rid of people who remember the before times, because as long as they exist, we all know it could be a hell of a lot better. And that's it. That's why they want us all gone, is because we have expectations and we remember a lot of people, a lot of older people especially, remember living in a world that made a lot more sense. So we got to get rid of them. Anyway, You want to do some Israel?
Oh, let's get to it. Get it done
All right,
over with.
Let's get to it. Their PR campaign has failed, obviously. Obviously, it's failed. We've talked about this many, many times. But there's just been so many people who have who have come out to basically discuss this. And I found this clip of Netanyahu, and the caption that's put on it here is everyone hates us for no reason. And I don't think that's true, Mr. Netanyahu. I think people have all kinds of reasons to not be a fan of that little state over there. Everyone's got reasons because it's just a weird place. But I think for me...
I would say for me, it's the constant of everybody should be licking our boots for being the chosen people of God.
Yeah, it's for
And
me.
How dare you say anything bad about us when we're the chosen people of God? Lick our feet again.
For me, Daniel, it's the cringe. It was funny for
all of it.
It was funny for a little bit, and now it's lazy. It's just lazy. So let's hear what Netanyahu's take is on this. Why does everyone hate Israel?
It's a cyclical phenomenon of historical waves that come and go. And my father was a great student of history, a great historian. Actually told me that this is something that's going to come because he studied it for, he studied a few thousand years of this. So it keeps coming and going. Now, of course, people's sense of history in this current discourse goes back to breakfast, so they don't know. They should even look back at breakfast. You know when breakfast was? October 7th, right? That's 2 years ago, before we had this war. Okay. What happened on that day? You had massive crowds in the capitals of the West, including in the United States, in the cities of the United States, supporting Hamas, supporting these rapists, these murderers, these beheaders of men and burners of babies. And they were shouting for Hamas. Remember that? That was before Israel did anything. We couldn't even get to the point where we defended ourselves. It took us a while. So it's not related to that. It's related to an underlying hatred of Jews that permeates the centuries, unfortunately. And there are only two things that I'd say about it. It's been a constant phenomenon of Jewish life over the millennia to have these horrible, horrible lies perpetrated about Jews, these vilifications, we poison the wells, we drink the children, the blood of children, and all sorts of crazy things. And that's repeated today. That's not new. And every time we had it in history, these vilifications were just preceded and were followed by horrible massacres and pogroms, culminating in the worst pogrom of them all, the Holocaust, in which 6 million Jews were basically burnt alive.
Nothing new. Daniel, your thoughts?
Yeah, really nothing new.
Yeah, nothing new. Nothing new, because there's nothing new coming out. It's just the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, people just hate us for no reason, and they make up these totally crazy lies about things that we do, and those things definitely never happened. So you have to do what we say now, and if you don't support us, you hate us, and that makes you an anti-Semite and a Jew hater and a Nazi, and that means that you did it. You see how dark that is? I know what he's doing. This is stupid. This is low IQ behavior. Like, look at me. I can string things together that do not follow. It's called a non sequitur. There was a great comic called Non Sequitur. It's just non sequiturs. That's it. It's the same thing. It's a cycle of history. My father, he couldn't even decide if his dad was a student of history or a great historian. Did you hear that in there? My father was a great historian, a student of history. There's a cycle. And what he's talking about is basically a conspiracy theory. He's like, there's no reason at all ever. There's nothing that ever caused any of this. It just happens because God cursed us or blessed us or something, or Jesus Christ just shut it off. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And then, of course, you have this, this shit going on about AIPAC, honestly. This week, you got friggin' Matt Gaetz going on Timcast talking about how when you went to the AIPAC reception, you would have to wear a QR code on a name badge, and people will go around scanning you to get your donation information. Can you believe this? Did everyone get lazy all at the same time? Like, I'm telling you, man, the first real war propaganda push we're going to see with AI is going to be out of Israel. Because they're the laziest of them all, it seems. They just don't try. Like it was, what was it this week? Oh God, they had one this week that was so bad. They just put a bunch of folding chairs out on a lawn and then put the victims of October 7th's pictures on the chairs.
Oh boy.
That's lazy. That's lazy. Anybody can rent folding chairs and put pictures on them. But it's like, anyway, you want to hear this from Matt Gaetz? Because this is crazy.
Yeah, I love to hear it. Let's see.
All right.
Initially, I resented the fact that there was no appreciation for nuance. Like if you asked any questions about any decision of the Israeli government in any place regarding settlements, regarding Gaza, whatever, you were like, you had deviated from the script. And I just, in any policy area, I had resentment over that. And then I saw the way the AIPAC worked, and that was weird for like a country lawyer like me. I remember my first AIPAC reception, and like your fundraiser tells you have to go, and your chief of staff tells you have to go, your committee chairman all tell you have to go, and you get there and you wear this name badge, and I remember there's a QR code on it, and what we were supposed to do was go talk to donors, and then if they liked you, they scanned your QR code to make a donation, like on the spot. And so can you just imagine how demoralizing that is to like be told that your job for the next several hours to go chat people up, hoping they would scan you like a can of tomato soup on the way out of the meeting.
I mean, it's literally purchasing.
Right. And so I saw that and I was like, wow, that is so freaking weird. And then, I was in Israel. I went multiple times, and I did not like the fact that I found someone in my room rooting around in my stuff that should not have been there at the King David Hotel when I came back to my room when no one was expecting me to be back in my room. And I just
presumably Israeli law enforcement.
Well, I don't know who it was. I just thought, like, this is weird. All of these things combined are odd, and then the policy outgrowth seems to be an obsession about the Middle East that has not served my generation well.
I guess. Feels good.
Like a can of tomato soup. You know what it's for, though? It's like, that's the ultimate end of, we just want people who don't think and like money. We just need chess pieces on our board. We don't want thinkers. We don't want politicians who ask questions. Too many questions. Now, this guy over here, he's absolutely retarded. He's totally brain dead. And all he does is sit in a chair and play on his mom's phone. But he doesn't ask questions. So we're gonna scan him and give him all the money. I mean, and then what Matt was saying about, coming back to his room and finding someone rooting through his stuff. I mean, all of this just reads like Scientology crap. I can't stop myself from going back to all the reading I did about Scientology and how people would just find weird things going on wherever they went.
Yep, that sounds about right to me. It's like right on the money. It's what I was thinking too. I was like, man, this is kind of like on a Scientology level.
It's weird. It's weird. And it's scary, man. Like, there is something deeply troubling about these kinds of little invasions or these kinds of violations of your dignity, or not even keeping up the appearance of like, oh, yes, we'll allow some nuance on this policy. But ultimately, we want people who agree with us. Like, of course, that makes sense, right? Like, of course, of course it makes sense that you would allow people to at least pretend to have nuance and still scan their badge and give them a donation, right? But they don't want that anymore because we're all lazy. It's just like, you know what? This is a meat market. You're a piece of, almost said a piece of pork. You're a you're a cow with a tag in your ear, and there's a bunch of butchers going around selecting the best cow to make burgers out of. That's what you are in this situation. And they're like, let's just cut out the middleman. We don't even have to make the cows think that this isn't a slaughterhouse anymore. Like, what difference does it make? Let's really just cut out the middleman. It's expedient to an absurd degree, but that's ultimately coming down to the AI question or coming back to the AI question just a little bit. It's like, we can make it look like something. It's like, yeah, but it isn't that thing though. It's like, but it looks just like it, and you can put it in commercials and people won't know. And it's like, yeah, but spiritually it's wrong though. And that just goes back to like the dollar. It's like, yeah, it has the value of $1, but it's not $1. It's a Federal Reserve note. It's not real. Well, the dollar is liquid and it changes value depending on the markets. Like, what? Nothing means anything anymore. And that's where this unbelievably like industrialization of expediency and the simplification of everything into just, it's like, this is what it actually is, so why even pretend? It is the gas on that is gonna run out really fast. I'm just saying. Actually, speaking of Matt Gaetz, he also brought on another one of our favorites. And this was regarding the October 7th. The October 7th anniversary and all of that stuff, because we have to talk about it. Mark Levin had some words to say about that. And then we'll be getting into the absolute hilarity of our final display here. Regarding the PR campaign for boomers, Levin is obviously the king. And here's what he had to say about October 7th.
That war in Gaza would be over in less than a month if the Israelis used the firepower they had in Gaza. But it doesn't matter. We still have news sites, including Israeli news sites, American news sites, who continue to talk about the casualty numbers that are fed to them from Hamas. No matter how many experts from the Wharton School and others say it's not possible what they're talking about, the death of children and the death of women. It doesn't matter. They keep pushing it because they push an agenda. It doesn't matter that the New York Times used phony photos on the front page of its newspaper. You know, during the Holocaust, we had black and white films, largely thanks to Eisenhower, who said, I want you to get your TV crews in there, and I want these so people see what happened. We have film after film after film. People can see it online. You don't have that in Gaza. Instead, you have phony pictures. Instead, you have propaganda coming from Hamas that uses its hospitals, its mosques, that slaughters its own people.
All right, more of the same, yes. But what he is saying is he's talking about how there's no videos out of Gaza showing atrocities. Does that strike you as true, Daniel?
Oh, it's got to be true.
Yeah, there's no videos, so
it's not real. You know, it never happened.
yeah, definitely.
Just like everybody telling me all the time that the gulags don't exist and the Holocaust never happened.
Yes,
Air 51 doesn't exist out there either.
Yeah,
it's decommissioned. We promise.
Yeah.
As you can tell where I'm going with this.
You know what's funny though is like
exist.
The frustration of Netanyahu and Levin and these old school, like old fashioned Zionist guys, is that they're just trying the same things over and over and over again, and they don't change strategy. They're just like, we're gonna just do more of that. Just do more of that. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna buy TikTok. We're just gonna buy it. Right, and then we're gonna put Barry Weiss in charge of Paramount Plus or whatever. We're gonna buy her company, combine everything, and then we're just gonna own the media. We're gonna own the media, and it's like, dude, are you like a boomer? Like, apparently, according to the History Channel, Israel has one of the best intelligence networks and organizations on the planet, and their great plan is to buy the media. What is the strategy here? This is boomer stuff. No offense, boomers. But that's what I'm saying. Like, what I'm getting at here is that This is not a well thought out strategy. And quite frankly, it's the same thing I was saying earlier. It's lazy. Do you think it's going to work to just buy television stations?
Oh, God, no. Because what's going to happen is someone buys it. The masses that use it get bored and tired of it because it's just nothing but propaganda and bullshit. And they'll move on to a new thing that gets created.
Yeah.
It happened with all these other like quick media things like Snapchat. Nobody uses it anymore. It's garbage. It was the quick thing, the new thing, and then the next thing will come out. So all you're waiting now is another form of media that's fast and addicting to come out, and then somebody's just going to switch to that.
Yeah. It's, you know what it's like? It's like if World War II ended, and instead of focusing on developing nuclear weapons, the Soviet Union just was like, we're just going to buy all the rifles. All the rifles, like all the World War II rifles, like we're just going to buy all of those, and then we don't have to develop a rifle. We don't have to develop a nuclear weapon. We don't have to develop any more weapons because we'll just own all the guns. And it's like, dude, you just bought like several million bolt-action rifles. And they're like, yeah, we own all the rifles now. And it's like, well, the Americans are developing like assault rifles, nuclear weapons, and completely new war tactics that won't even involve weapons. What year is it? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. It's like, I don't know how you can be this deluded to be like, all we got to do is just do what we've always done. Just, put ads on the TV, put ads before the movies, build museums, and put folding chairs out on a lawn at some college somewhere. Dude, it's 2025. That shit doesn't work anymore. It's too late. So you want to see the most hilarious example of this that I discovered this week?
No, by all means, I would love to.
Okay. This comes from Information Liberation. Israel paying up to $4.1 million to brainwash Americans with VR. Targets churches with geofencing ads. This is called the 10-7 experience. This sounds fake, doesn't it?
It does. It definitely does.
Well, here's the filing for it. Right here.
Oh my God.
On FARA.gov from the U.S. Department of Justice. At least they're declaring it's a foreign operation. At least that. But here's what the 10-7 experience involves. Custom-built trailer by professional Hollywood set designers. Reversible exterior walls allowing for interactive 629 experience by walking to the side of the trailer. Opposite side has a slide-out or stage flooring to invite attendees to come into the trailer from the side. Mounted Survive to Tell VR experience interior with seating. Mounted generator with wired outlets interior. Exterior display tent allowing for crowds to visit without being too cramped. Interior wall-length mounted TV with updated information, pro-Israel media, wrapped with images of Israel or the Western Wall. A call to action outside the exhibit using biblical messaging. These are the bullet points. The target is American Christians from the South. They're going to roll a trailer around with VR headsets and have like a literal mobile museum for propaganda.
This is amazing.
What do you think of that? I got more on it. But
if it comes to town, I think we should go and
we have to go.
We have to go and see this.
The firm reported receiving an initial payment about $326,000 on September 18th, days before it formally registered with the Department of Justice Department as a foreign agent. Here's the section where they have to describe the nature and method of performance of the above indicated agreement or understanding. I had an AI summarize this for me, but this is straight from the PDF. Christian outreach through various grassroots and digital targeting of Christians in the Western U.S. We will create a mobile museum to display at churches, Christian colleges, and Christian events. We will target and distribute pro-Israel information online through targeted geofencing and digital online tools. We will have teams of people reaching out to churches and pastors, possibly even Christian social media influencers. Some of this is still undecided and fluid, but these are the outlets we have planned and proposed. Describe fully the activities that the registrant engages in or proposes to engage in on behalf of the above foreign principle. Christian outreach through various grassroots digital targeting. They're repeating themselves in the Western U.S. We will create a mobile museum, blah, 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 blah. And they just basically, they just repeated the same thing here. But what's crazy to me is that they're just literally going to build like a mobile museum. Like they want to. It's like the moving Titanic experience or whatever that they would move between museums all the time. Yeah. You know how they do that at museums? They like have an exhibit that came from the Smithsonian, but now it's in Chicago, and that's how they just set it up again.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what they're going to do for 10/7, but they're just going to do it at your church.
This is amazing.
It's going to include A Promise Kept, which is a Holocaust VR film, an immersive award-winning VR film created by the Illinois Holocaust Museum that takes viewers to Auschwitz with Fritzi Fritzl. The experience allows users to visit the site of the atrocities and hear Fritzi's story, which includes the promise she made to the other women in the camp to tell the world what happened if she survived. The film uses immersive cinematography, photogrammetry, I don't know how to say that, and 360-degree sound to create a powerful and empathetic experience. Oh, here's the VR trailer of Survive to Tell, of the Survive to Tell initiative called Be the Witness. You want to watch it?
Oh, yes. I actually want to see what this is going to be.
All right. A new immersive experience.
And it was a beautiful day. The window was open. I could see the sky.
And I'm dancing as I'm walking.
There were Arab, Jews, all were party together. And then it all started. Rockets.
The music stopped.
I don't understand until I heard the shot.
Kids running for their life. הם נכנסו לממ"ד, אני ממש זוכר את הקנה של הרובה. Small town, שדרות, from אלומין to בארי, in קיבוץ ניר עוז. Innocent life are being taken.
Where can I go? Where can we hide? You don't have a good option.
This kind of brutality should not exist in the world.
Be there.
This is a moment of shame and sadness for humankind.
Be the witness. Your take.
My take on it? Oh, man.
This is so bad. Oh, no.
This is rough.
Oh, no. You know what surprised me about it, though? It's how small the music festival looks. I don't think I've ever seen footage from it. I always imagined like it was a giant concert, but this looks like something at like a local fairground.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, man, for a festival, this looks kind of small.
Yeah. I mean, to be perfectly frank, like the only thing we've seen out of this is like videos on people's phones and stuff made for TV. Right? But looking at it now, this looks like a freaking set. I'm not trying to be an asshole. Like I'm sure it was totally legit and Israel would never lie. But it looks like a set to me. It looks very suspicious. But the other thing that I'm going to say is that when I see this, if this is the official imagery and the official layout of how this event actually looked, comparing the scale of this to what's been done to Gaza is unreal. There was a drone video out this week of what Gaza looks like this week, and it looks like Fallout. And this is like a tent. And they're like, that justified everything. I don't know, man. You want to hear some more?
By all means.
The anti-Palestinian section of the plan asserts that Palestinians are complicit in Hamas's leadership, financing, and military operations, and accuses them of sheltering terrorists, hiding weapons in schools and hospitals, and celebrating the October 7th attack, JTA reports. The materials stress that there has never been a Palestinian state, that Hamas and Iran's goals are genocidal rather than land-focused, and that Palestinians have squandered opportunities for modernization in favor of violence. Here are the slides. Oh my goodness. So they're going after churches. They tout the largest, quote, the largest Christian church geofencing campaign in U.S. history, which includes targeting Christian churches on Sundays and Christian colleges on weekdays with targeted ads for those who enter the regions. Ads will continue to track those who entered our target zones, the filing states. Quote, this geofencing campaign would create a digital perimeter around key Christian gathering places, delivering targeted pro-Israel content and sympathetic anti-Hamas messaging to engage audiences. Here's another slide. I don't even know what to say about this, man.
I don't either.
Why do you think they're targeting Christians so hard with this stuff?
Man. It could be any reason, honestly. Starting to feel more like the tale of all this time. With any religion just not being able to coexist with each other. And always there's a problem.
It's too little too late, I think. I mean, because the support that Israel enjoyed from Christians in the United States was sort of dependent on a Zionist undercurrent, so to speak, in the church, where, you know, Christians were obsessed with apocalypticism leading up to and after the year 2000, and especially around the Obama presidency. They really believed that, you know, Obama was going to like nuke Israel and start World War III and bring about the apocalypse and that kind of thing. They thought Obama was the Antichrist, which, you know, I don't know if they're wrong, but you know what I'm saying. Like it fit neatly within this thing that was like it was ready to go. It was prepackaged. They didn't have to work for this kind of support. And then something happened, and going back to what they were saying at the beginning, that they lost the young people. Now, how did that happen? Could it be because young people aren't interested in church anymore?
Yeah.
Right?
I would say, yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah. And that actually leads me to my last clip, because I think one of the most important things that we've talked about, and we do have a very diverse range of Christians in our audience. Okay? I love all of you for what that's worth. And not just because you give us 70 cents every now and then when you can afford it. I think the question about American churches is dire. It's been dire for 25 years at least. Something happened, and now they're gone. Now there's a commentator I don't usually listen to, because I think he's kind of cringy, and I don't mean that like to be mean. I think he's cringy. But he does live streams every now and then. And he put up a clip of one of his streams where he's playing a game in VR, ironically, and he was talking about why Christian churches are failing. And I thought it was really, really good. So I don't really recommend his stuff, but I had to stop what I was doing to listen to this, because I was like, yes, this is exactly right. So here it goes. It's just a clip from a stream.
See, Stryker, how did we get so many cringe atheists and people who think believing in God is lame?
I mean, I think the big thing was, it was twofold. There's more to it than this. But I think a lot of it is just media propaganda. Music, everything from music to entertainment to literature, everything was all kind of turning in concert, and all of it was God and anti-church at one time. It still is. It's just that those institutions have lost their credibility even more than the church. And then the other big factor of that was, in key times of trial, in times of personal durance, the church wasn't what it needed to be. The church proved changeable. The church became worldly. And when people are, we saw this during COVID, when people felt the ground receding beneath their feet and they were looking for something to hold on to, and they walked in a church, they saw the same garbage, pride flags and support for COVID lockdowns, if the church was even open during COVID, right? It was a moral test and a lot of churches failed. Because why would I walk into a church to get the same gospel I can get on a street corner? Why? Why go there and give them an offering? And what I could just turn on my television set and hear the same gospel. The gospel of the world, the gospel of envy, the gospel of avarice and selfishness. The world already gives me plenty of that. Shitty Hollywood movies and TV shows give me that. So that was another factor. So you add that, and it was just like full court press. The media was attacking the church, and the church was becoming the media. It was becoming the caricature that the media had created. I think that's why the current drive to religion is much more confessional and conservative than it has been in the past. There's not a lot of, even though some of the figures about like Eastern Orthodoxy or the Roman Catholic Church gaining members or whatever are really exaggerated, it is true, like I'm noticing in certain circles anyways, that people, the drive to return to the church is really more in the traditional and liturgical side. And I think that's because when people looked for comfort from the church in a key time of trial, those mega churches just failed in every conceivable regard. There are some sad numbers about that, though. That, you know, the internet is not real life, and some of the narratives around, like, look, the Protestant church ain't doing great in terms of, like there were figures from the census, for example, relatively recently. I'm going to get away from this noisy watermill. That were saying that for every, the figure was, okay, for every one new convert, how many converts are you losing? Because that's probably the most important figure, honestly, for the church. Oops. And the numbers were not pretty. If you logged on to social media, you would think, oh, the Roman Catholic Church must be growing by leaps and bounds. But the numbers were actually even worse for Rome. In the Protestant church, and this is nothing to brag about, for every one new convert, 2 people leave. That's unsustainable. That's disastrous. That's bowling shoe ugly. The Protestant church needs to correct that. But in the Roman Catholic Church, for every one new convert, 8 people leave out the back door. That's abysmal. That's apocalyptically bad. The internet's not real life. If you were just on social media, you would think that everybody is going to the East and everybody's going to Rome. The truth is, the only place where there's less bleeding is the Protestant church, and it's doing terribly too. And I think it's for all the reasons I just mentioned. I mean, look what happened with the Pope this week. It's kind of the same thing. People were looking for the Pope to give them the gospel. They were looking to hear something that they couldn't hear somewhere else. And what did he give them? The gospel of the world. Climate change and not being able to properly distinguish between a death due to abortion and a death due to the death penalty. And I'm not just hitting on Rome here, too, because the Protestant church has the same problem.
That same problem being a failure to separate itself from the world enough.
Yep.
Like we were talking about just a few weeks ago, it's like you used to go to church as a place of comfort, and now you go there and it's a place of cringe. Like you used to go,
yeah.
There used to be, you know, you grew up with it, right? There used to be like a comfort when you walk in and you hear the old hymns and you see the lights, or not the lights, but the stained glass, and you know, you smell that nasty carpet or whatever. If you're a Baptist, you know how it used to be. Right.
It's the smell of your old, like your grandma's house, and just that comfort feeling.
Yeah, but somewhere along the line, all that changed, didn't it? And
now there's an electric guitar on stage, and the priest is just wearing a t-shirt with, with like a nice, like slightly button-up polo or something, maybe on top of it, and like black pants with some black shoes, maybe, or just sneakers.
It's why would you go to a worse rock concert when you can go to a rock concert?
It was like, this just feels like Christian rock, but it not being good Christian rock.
Right. It's the shortage that we have most of all, and this is related to everything we've talked about, is meaning. Why do this? Why make money? Why carry on? And I think because, I think personally, it's because that's what we're supposed to do. I personally, it's like, maybe, okay, so maybe, you and I doing this show, you, me, and Adam, maybe we're not friggin' Joe Rogan. Maybe we're not friggin' Candace Owens. Maybe we aren't ever going to be those things. Maybe we won't get a rise to a meteoric rise, as they say, like Alex Stein or anything like that. But I think the reason that we do it is because we're another gun on the line. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. No, there's no glory in it. You're not going to get famous doing this kind of thing. And it's the same for the churches. The best churches are the ones nobody knows about most of the time. But I think that's why. I think that's ultimately, like, I guess my final thoughts on episode 100. Is that if all we have, if our job is to be another gun on the line, then that's what we're gonna be. Right, Daniel?
Oh yeah, you're right. I agree with that.
Well, on that note, everybody, thank you for 100 glorious episodes of the Clowntown Chronicle. It's been fun, and it's not over. Next week, it's 101 Dalmatians, the best movie that Disney ever made. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Just remember, folks, the ride never ends.
The ride never ends. The ride never ends. Daniel, how are you celebrating?
Oh, how am I celebrating? Probably gonna celebrate by making some food after this because I'm starving.
That sounds great. I think I'll do the same thing. Well, yep. I know the rest of you like to celebrate privately, so let me say, for one last time, thank you all, everybody who listens, everybody who writes in the show, everybody who sends in notes, everybody who sends in donations, everybody who's involved with this show. Like, we couldn't do this without you. When I was looking at my expenses for the show, I can officially say it has cost us nothing, and we've made enough to actually, like, pay for upgrades and things like that. So that's awesome. Because, for the first few months, it did cost something, and now it's just fun. And with that said, we'll let y'all go. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time on the Clowntown Chronicle, episode 101. We're not going anywhere. Take care, everybody.
They set themselves down. Now it don't sound like much, but it sure got tongues talking back at the homestead. And then in the town, from little things, big things grow. From little things, big things grow.
All right, Daniel, listen up. Here's the plan. We gotta storm the nest. It's the only thing between us and the Hollow Earth. When this bastard goes up, you gotta get out of here. Don't want to hear it. One of us has to drive the truck, and it should be me. Don't argue. Just hang on, you fuzzy bastard. I figure a half-ton of TNT ought to do it. Tell Atlantean Command I did my best. You ready? Alright. Here comes the donation train.
Supreme Leader will want him as a guest on his podcast.